Hello guys and welcome back to League One predictions. It's December, Ben. It's going to be chaos. How are you?
I'm good, but in the comments straight away about Matt SB's jumper, I thought I was in the December spirit. I had a mince pie today. Matt is up in the ante with a frankly tremendous Christmas jumper immediately, and I'm here for it.
Do you know what, Ben? I would say this jumper is worth 1,000 likes. So come on, get involved, guys. Hit that like button. What a perfect little segue that is. And subscribe straight away. We'll get into the plugs. Make sure to subscribe over here for League One predictions and subscribe to Benjamin Bloom and the Blue Monday podcast, which you can see nicely in the corner over there.
You can tell what I've just been up to for the last hour. Yeah, no, but do check out a wonderful Ipswich Sound podcast that's now in its 10th year, incredibly.
That's incredible. Do you know what? I'll put both links at the top of the description, guys.
Oh, amazing.
I'm sure most of you have subscribed to Benjamin Bloom. If you haven't already, subscribe to the Blue Monday podcast as well. Before we get into the League One predictions, Ben, the scores from last time, obviously the last time we predicted was midweek last week. There was only 9 games. Ben got 7 points. I got 13, which brings us to 127.
You got 13 in a midweek round. Fair play, mate.
Oh, well, I had to close the gap, didn't I, Ben? But we're all level, 127 apiece.
That's close. Impressive.
Right, let's dive into the predictions, Ben. I'll let you go first for this interesting one. Bolton v Mansfield. Straight away, to me, it screams goals. 2 teams just outside the playoffs. Bolton have been fairly good, if a little inconsistent, and Mansfield had been great, and their form has turned. 3 defeats in a row in the league. What are you saying?
Both teams to score, home win. I assume that's where you'll probably go in as well. We expected a bit of a regression to the mean for both of them, really, which means they cross over, and that's exactly what's happened. And Bolton, well, they could be in those playoffs with a couple more, comfortably in there, staying there with a couple more good results. I'm torn a bit between 2-1 and 3-1. I'll play it safe. I'll take the 2-1, Matt. Bolton 2, Mansfield 1.
It's a scribble. It's a scribble. And I had a feeling you might go 3-1 because I noticed there's a bit of a trend. In the last 2 or 3 predictions videos, you always kicked off with a 3-1.
Did I?
So I will take the 3-1 now, seeing as you've taken the 2-1. I think it screams goals. You trust Mansfield to score. They've scored 20 this season, but Bolton just that bit more consistent at the moment. In fact, Bolton's numbers are more exciting in a sense. They've scored more and conceded more. Bolton are currently 8th with a negative goal difference. But I'll go for them to win this one 3-1, Ben, and to climb on into that playoff picture. Next up, you've got Charlton Athletic versus Crawley Town. Charlton got a much-needed 1-0 win, as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, that you did predict against Burton Albion. They were playing bottom of the league, Ben, so I'm not sure if we read into it too much because I think before that, Charlton's form's not been great. That said, they take on Crawley now, who are also a struggler, and Charlton have the home advantage. Crawley have not lost in 4, you know. Do you know, if this was at Crawley, I think I'd give them something, but I'm just going to go down with the home advantage and say 1-0 Charlton.
Yeah, so we're 2 for 2 on scribbles here then, Matt, because I was going to take 1-0 Charlton. I did that. If Crawley even had 1 defeat in that run, we'd probably be more comfortable with calling the home win. Do I want to do 2-1 wins in a row at home? I can't do that, can I? Let's take a 2-0 to Charlton then. I'll just hack a goal off and make it a 2-0. Charlton 2, Crawley 0.
There you go. Both going with the home advantage there. Ben, a win for Charlton would put them a bit closer to the playoffs. I mean, there's so many teams jostling for it. I mean, we did like them. They were flavour of the month in August and September, but certainly gone off it. Could you see them having a resurgence?
Yeah. I like Nathan Jones as someone who can win a promotion in League One. But when you look at this hierarchy of this league, they're not a playoff team, are they? They're not looking like one. It would be one of those, someone, really piling the points on in the last 2/3 of the season to go into playoffs with momentum. It'd be that type of thing. Could happen. Charlton fans will correct me. I'm not sure it's going to happen.
Yeah, share your thoughts, Charlton fans. So speaking about flavour of the month, let's speak about flavour of the last 3 months. Wycombe Wanderers, they are away at Exeter City, Ben. And Exeter's an interesting one. Whenever any of the so-called top 3 or 4 go away to Exeter, we like Exeter's home advantage. But Wycombe, what did we say? It was 11 in a row in all comps, and then it's 7 in the league. And we've said about 8 wins in a row. Teams go up. What are you saying?
Got to go for the away win, haven't I? How can you not at the moment with Wycombe? Either we've been full of praise for Exeter, particularly in terms of recruitment and punching their budget. But I'm going to be backing Wycombe to win every week until this run ends. I'm going to be doing that. So let's go Exeter 0, Wycombe 1.
There you go, just backing Wycombe. Yeah, I'm going to have to. I've already written down 2-1 Wycombe. It's difficult. You know how we've spoken for a long time about who's going to call the Birmingham defeat? We're playing that game now with Wycombe. Who's going to call the Wycombe defeat? I'm not. I'm going to agree with you. Wycombe edge it for me. Away from home at an Exeter team that we have liked this season, but I don't know, back-to-back defeats at the moment, 11th in the table, dropped off it. But like I say, 2 wins in a row and you're straight back into the playoff picture because it's so tight in the middle. So if Exeter win, be a massive statement. Next up, Ben, I'm up first for Leyton Orient v Bristol Rovers. Bristol Rovers with really inconsistent form, actually, struggling to make any sort of sense of that. I mean, 14th at the moment with 2 draws, 2 wins, 2 defeats in the last 6. Leyton Orient a struggler, though. I mean, they've dropped into the bottom 4. We said that Crawley have popped their heads out of it. Orient, last time in midweek, they lost at home to Huddersfield. I fancy them to get something with the home advantage against a mid-table Bristol Rovers. I'm going to go 1-1.
Yeah, I was thinking that I'm a bit bullish on Orient at home. I quite like them, actually. You've taken the 1-1. I might give them a win here.
Oh,
let's do it. Orient 3, Bristol Rovers 1.
Ooh.
You like that?
Yeah, where did that come from, Ben?
I don't know. Your 13-point midweek score has spooked me, Matt, yeah?
That's it. Mind games. There you go, going for the Orient win. Ben, you're up first for this one then. Rotherham United hosting Lincoln City. Rotherham still with Steve Evans, but they're not been great, have they? I mean, they continue to drop points and we keep saying, is this the last chance? But I don't know, at home to Lincoln, do you fancy them with the home advantage?
Well, I'm just looking here. Lincoln have had a bit of a gnarly run, but they've had difficult fixtures. The 2 defeats have come against Wycombe, and Wrexham away is a very hard game, isn't it? I reckon I'm going to go down the middle on this one, but I don't fancy Rotherham to win it. I fancy if there's a winner, it's going to be Lincoln. But I'll go down the middle. I'm going to throw those 2 fingers up, Matt, and say Rotherham 1, Lincoln 1.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. A very, very difficult one to call with Rotherham's poor form. 4 defeats in 5. I mean, I wonder what the tipping point is here for Rotherham United with Steve Evans. I mean, I know he was a hero for them years ago, but this run's been terrible and the expectations were quite high. You're right, though, about Lincoln City. We have enjoyed them, but their form is difficult to read into too much because, like you say, the fixtures have been hard. Currently 9th, not that far away from it. I'll go for a surprise win, I guess, which doesn't sound right with Rotherham being at home in a League One game, but I'm going to say Rotherham win 2-1 is a bit of a surprise at the minute. 2-1 to the Millers. What do you think of that?
I've tried that tactic so many times this season, man. It's never worked. That's what I think of that. So I hope it works for you, mate, and the Rotherham fans as well. Surely
they've got to win at some point. Ben, I'm frustrated you're up first for this one because I have a feeling I know where you're going to go. Stevenage, Northampton.
You want me to say 0-0, don't you?
Is that what you're saying?
I get some grief off Northampton fans for never backing them, but they are at Stevenage. Go on, let's do it. I'll back Northampton then because you seem to think I'm so predictably going to go 0-0. Let's go for Northampton away win there. We'll give them their flowers. Stevenage 0, Northampton 1. Why not?
Wow. Okay, big result for Northampton. There you go. I'm sorry to be boring. I have gone for the 0-0. Yeah, seems obvious, doesn't it? I mean, Northampton Town been involved in quite a few goalless draws. Surprisingly, against Wigan last week, both teams scored. And then as for Stevenage, usually low scoring. I thought we liked them at home, but have they
dropped off a
tailed
bit?
off a bit? I mean, I remember for sure at the start of the season you said they'll still have that Steve Evans residue for a bit. Maybe is that residue running out? Possibly. I'll go for a 0-0. I'll give them a point, but neither of us are backing them to score. Ben, who's up first here? Is it myself? Yeah, Wrexham v Barnsley. Oh, goodness me. Surely I'm going to go with the home advantage, but Barnsley are entertaining. Wrexham have been pretty good for winning at home with clean sheets, but I wonder if Barnsley will break that trend, but Wrexham still win. So I will go 2-1 Wrexham.
Yeah, I like that. I like your thinking. So I'll have to take. I can't go any higher than that. I'll have to take the clean sheet win. Then we've liked Wrexham at home, haven't we? And I suppose we've slept a little bit on Barnsley, haven't we? They've been better than we've thought. Didn't they get knocked out? Did they get knocked out on penalties? Was it in the cup, Barnsley? I think it's hard to be across all of this stuff this weekend. I'll take the Wrexham.
Bristol Rovers.
Oh, so Darryl Clark's former club as well. Yeah. Let's go 2-0 or 1-0. I'm going to go predictable, mate. Wrexham 1, Barnsley 0.
There you go then. Both back in the home team. Wrexham still second. I remember you said a week or two ago, even when they slip up, they're still second.
Yeah.
Birmingham City, they're going to be chasing them down. And Birmingham City have got the 2 games in hand. So I know Wrexham have got away with a couple of iffy results, but when it's Birmingham chasing you, I don't know how long that can last. So Wrexham certainly do need to win this to stay in that top 2. Next up, Ben, Huddersfield Town versus Wigan Athletic. I believe you're up first here. Both won in midweek last time in League One. Wigan winning at home to Northampton, and Huddersfield, as I said earlier, winning away at Leyton Orient. Where are you going with this?
I'm going to go for a home win, and I'm going to go for a shutout because Wigan have been notoriously low scoring. Huddersfield are 3 straight wins in all comps as well. I fancied them for a couple of goals. In fact, I don't think I've gone this high, have I? Huddersfield 3, Wigan 0.
Oh, wow. Okay. I agree with the clean sheet. I feel like I'm being really boring here, or am I being tactical? 1-0 to Huddersfield here. Don't worry, there's more goals to come later. But I'm going to just say Huddersfield edge it because, as we'd said previously with Wigan, tends to be low scoring in both directions in their games. If they can just keep eking out 1-0 wins, they'll certainly climb up this table, which is very congested at the minute. But Huddersfield have certainly found their form, and if they can keep that going, they can certainly climb back into that top 2 battle. Reading v Cambridge is up next, Ben. I don't know if you saw today, Reading were involved in a bonkers FA Cup game against Harborough. And in the league recently, their form's been pretty good. But I've enjoyed Cambridge's little...
You love Cambridge,
rally.
Don't you?
Yeah, well, I think they had a couple of wins, and now they're getting quite a few draws, aren't they? Yeah. There was that one random 6-1 defeat to Peterborough or something, wasn't there? I could see this being 1-1, but I'm just edging Reading 2-1.
I'll play for a bonus point then. I'm going to play very tactically because I'm assuming that you're going to be right, that it's going to be a home win. So I'll take a 3-2 just to try and finagle a bonus point out of somewhere, yeah?
Finagle a bonus point. I love that.
Mate, I've probably got the usage of that word completely wrong. If there's any English students in the chat, please feel free.
There you go. Both back in Reading, though, and Ben's chucking in his bonus point there. Ben, you're up first for Birmingham City versus Stockport County. This is a juicy one, isn't it? I mean, Stockport have been pretty good at times. Their form has been a bit up and down, but currently up to 4th. Birmingham are 3rd. There's actually 1 goal difference in it. So if Stockport win, they would leapfrog them, but they are away from home.
It's a horrible game for Birmingham, isn't it? If you're a Birmingham fan and there's been a kind of, you call it a slip for Birmingham, just on the basis of our massively kind of high expectations for them. They drew a game and they lost the game. Since then, they've gone to Exeter and won in the FA Cup as well today, didn't they? But I think Birmingham fans are going to be going there thinking, Stockport, good side defensively. They've got Barry who can, Stockport can have 25% possession and Barry can still smash one in from 25 yards. I haven't caught Birmingham dropping points at the right place at any point this season, but I'm going to go for them to win. But let's give Stockport a Louis Barry goal, and let's give it Birmingham 3-1. But I bet the Blues fans are nervous about this one.
Yeah, it's a tough game. It really is. I think Stockport County are a team that can definitely finish in that top 6 this season. You know, if you're still in that top 6 picture when we've got into December, you're certainly doing something right. And like you say, Barry certainly gets the goals. I'm going to agree with you though, Ben. I am going to back the Blues, especially with the home advantage. I'm going to go with 2 clear goals as well. I'm going to go Birmingham 2-0. One thing I will say though is this league is genuinely really, really tough in terms of the fixtures are coming so thick and fast for Birmingham, because we said they've not played during the international breaks because they've got. Are you looking at their fixtures? Yeah.
No, I've just looked up the word finagle, which means, and I did use it correctly, to obtain something by indirect or involved means, to obtain something by trickery. There you go.
There you go. Right.
Thank you.
We've learned something. I might use that myself now.
Get it in there. Matt, that's your challenge. You've got to use it with Sophie without her knowing at some point. You've got to finagle that word in there, yeah?
Oh, brilliant. Yeah. might get a funny look off her, but there you go. I was saying Birmingham 2-0. What I was saying is the travelling. They went to Shrewsbury last Saturday, Exeter in midweek, and then up to Blackpool on Saturday. And now they're finally at home after 3 away games all over the place. I mean, thankfully, I guess if you live in Birmingham, it's ideal in terms of travelling. But I don't know, 3 away games in a row. And
it's not the one, is it?
It's not great. But yeah, I'll back them 2-0 Blues, and you're going 3-1 Blues. Right. Do I detect a bonus point here? Peterborough United versus Burton Albion. I'm going to dive in 5-1 to Peterborough. And I don't think it's that outrageous given how fun Peterborough can be. The goals they score, they do tend to concede, so I'll give Burton 1. But Burton are struggling, bottom of the table, conceding quite a few goals. I think they're averaging about 2 a game against. And there's a gap forming between them and the teams above them. I mean, I think we mentioned last time, well, I said that Burton have 1 or 2 games in hand on some teams down there. But you did make the good point that games in hand are, not as nice as when you're at the top of the table, when you're down at the bottom, of course, because they're not winning many at all. They're really struggling. In fact, how many have Burton won this season? They've won 1 in 16. So, yeah, 5-1.
It's Crawley, was it? I'm going to throw this up, Matt, and that is a 5-pointer if that comes in. I'm giving you a 5-pointer for that one. That's a hell of a shout of 5-1. I had 4-0 in my head, but I'm getting cold feet now. I think I might row it back to 3-0. I think I think with it being a midweek round, I don't know who Peterborough have got at the weekend. We'll get onto that in the next show. But yeah, you can. I mean, everything about it does smack of a high-scoring home win. But I'm not going to be as bold as you have. Maybe I'll be bold on the next one. But I'll take a 3-0. And yeah, 5 points for Matt if that 5-1 comes in. That's a 6-goal call.
I'll take that. Thank you very much, Ben. The next one is certainly interesting. Let's go to Shrewsbury Town versus Blackpool. Gareth Ainsworth versus Steve Bruce. Both had the desired effect when they first came in. I mean, Steve Bruce has obviously been there a few months now. Blackpool have really struggled to sort of recapture that form. Did win last week, though. I will mention that. We didn't actually see that coming. They did beat Bristol Rovers 2-0 away from home. Is that something they can build on? Speaking of something you can build on, how about that Shrewsbury win over Birmingham for Gareth Ainsworth? Who's up first here, Ben? It's yourself. So go on. What are you saying?
Well, Shrewsbury are definitely going to take the lead. They're definitely going to score in the first 10 minutes of this game. You know that's going to be so amped up with Ainsworth ball and the new manager bounce, especially after the win against Birmingham. So I've got to do it. Neither of us did it on the last show. I'm giving the Wild Thing a second win. But let's make it a bit more Wycombe-y. No 3-2 stuff here. Shrewsbury 1, Blackpool 0. So I'll call it set play goal inside the first 10 minutes and then Blackpool over 15.5 shots. And a 1-0 win for Shrewsbury.
It's like an accumulator there,
Yep.
Ben. I'll give you 4 points. I'll give you 4 points if you get all of that. That, all right? If it's just 1-0 and none of the rest comes in, it's still 3 points. But if all of that happens, 4 points. Okay. I'm also going to back Shrewsbury. What a win against Birmingham and a massive platform to build on. I wonder if that'll just be one strange result and they go back to sort of losing ways. I don't know. I'll go with Gareth Ainsworth. 2-1. They got the home advantage again. So, yeah, 2-1 to Shrewsbury for me. And it certainly would make things interesting down at the bottom, as we've spoken about before, how we've had only sort of 4 or 5 teams involved down there. If we now get Shrewsbury overtake Leyton, Orient, and maybe even pull Rotherham in, who are now 19th.
Well, and there's your tipping point for Tony Stewart and Steve Evans at Rotherham, right? Yeah.
Yes. If we get overtaken by Shrewsbury, you're out the door.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And there you have it, guys. That wraps up the League One predictions for midweek. Remember, there'll be League One predictions coming for the weekend. It's going to be a very busy schedule, so your support would be much appreciated from myself and Ben. Now, as much as this is a dream job for both of us, it is arduous. So. Your support would be appreciated. Please make sure you like and subscribe. And what could they find on your channel, Ben?
Well, we're going to be speaking on Tuesday, Matt, on the Premier League Check-In podcast. We'll get our heads together and figure out what the topics are. We're always interested in your suggestions. So, yeah, each and every week, Matt comes and does the Premier League Check-In. That's after Sam Parkin has come on and done the Championship Check-In. And we got all sorts of things, watch-alongs and some more free-form videos, hot takes each and every Sunday. Loads of lovely EFL stuff, yeah, as we get into the weeds in December and just try and stay above water, yeah?
Yeah, for real. I mean, it's going to get pretty tricky around Christmas time, but we'll work it out. And once again, a massive thank you for your support, guys. Like I say, subscribe to Benjamin Bloom, subscribe to the Blue Monday, subscribe over here, drop a like, and we'll see you guys later in the week for more League One predictions. Take care. Peace out.